Most of my lyrics have always been about things in my life.
But could it have been finished earlier, then, do you think? Or is this really the right time for this album now that you finished it, the last part?
I only broke them up into 5 songs because the steps kind of break up into different ways. 1, 2, and 3 is kind of one process. 4 and 5 is another process. 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12. I kind of looked at the 12 steps and broke them up into kind of chapters. But you know, when I had this idea 7 years ago of writing these connecting songs, I don't think I realized what the hell I was getting myself into, that it would take 7 years and 5 albums to complete. It's been great. It's been therapeutic to write these lyrics, and it's nice to have done it, but it surely now is a relief to be done with it. You know, it was kind of like I dug myself into a hole that was too deep to get out, and you know, I'm glad that the process is over. And I think it was a great ending. The Shattered Fortress on the new album, I think, wraps it all up perfectly, lyrically and musically.
Have you had reactions from people maybe that they really found it helpful?
I get every day when I'm on tour, somebody comes to me and thanks me for writing these lyrics and, you know, helping them. That's what the 12th step is all about. I am responsible, you know, to carry the message and help people that need help. And like I just said, I've never been preachy about it. I never preach sobriety. Everybody's free to do whatever they'd like with their life. But I'm just talking about how it's helped me, and if it maybe helps somebody else that's struggling, then that's great. But every day I have people thanking me for helping them to get sober, or maybe just helping, you know, expressing struggles that they're going with, and then I could maybe give some advice to help out with however it helped me.
Yeah, because I see it as a personal thing, but yeah, when I looked at the album, you finished this topic we just discussed. Another big thing in your life is also openly, or not openly discussed, but mentioned in the album, and the Best of Time song I'm referring to. Is there something also that you constantly want to do to bring that out in
I've always
Dream Theater?
I've always written about things in my life. You know, whether it be my struggle with recovery and addiction. I wrote about the death of my mom when I was a child. I wrote about that in A Change of Seasons. I've written about fights and bad relationships in my family. I've written about the band's struggles with the record company and the industry. Most of my lyrics have always been about things in my life. And so, you know, throughout the making of this record, one of the biggest struggles in my own personal life was the sadness and you know, the heaviness of dealing with my dad's battle with cancer. So inevitably, you know, it was going to come out in my lyrics. And I know when I write about these things, it's like an open book, and I would only do it if I'm willing to discuss it in an interview, or willing for the listeners to read it or discuss it, or, you know, I have no problem with that. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't willing to be open about it.
How is it to have somebody else sing it to her, James? Maybe do you listen to it with different ears then? It
was at first I was wondering how it would be handing these lyrics over to James to sing, because when I wrote the lyrics, I ended up recording the song with the band, a version of me singing, and I played it for my dad before he died, and I sat at his bedside and we held hands and we cried, and it was very emotional. Mm-hmm. And it was the version of me singing. It was all very personal lyrics about my relationship with my father and all the things we had shared for 41 years. And then after my dad passed away, we played the version of me singing at his funeral as well. So I shared it with family and friends. And so I wondered how it would be to hand such a personal subject over to James to sing. And I was concerned about it, but never did I consider singing the Dream Theater version. I mean, you know, James is the voice of the band. He's got the stronger voice and the ability to deliver it in a way that I never could. So, you know, I was wondering how it would be, but, you know, within a couple of minutes of him starting to sing it while we were tracking, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. He gets it. He's going to be able to deliver it with the proper emotion. And that's always been his job in this band. He's always sung, you know, our other band members' lyrics, and he has to make them his own and deliver it with confidence and emotion that went into the lyrics when we wrote them. And that's always been his job. He is the voice of the band.